There is one thing stronger than all the armies in the world put together, and that is an idea whose time has come. Idea perhaps is the most dangerous and most powerful of all the weapons. Hello and a very warm welcome, viewers. You're watching the special presentation of Sansad TV on the journey of startups. India has the third largest startup ecosystem in the world, and if you're an aspiring entrepreneur or even otherwise, this is your destination as we script the novel success stories of unicorns, mid and small level startups, analyze the roadblocks and give wings to your dreams of becoming a job giver and not being a job seeker. So today, let's hear the story of agri-tech startup Praman and its founder, Saurabh Saxena. Praman.AI, launched in August 2021, is the world's largest horticulture exchange. It facilitates spot trading, e-auctioning and reverse auctioning in horticulture commodities, including onions, cardamom and apples. The exchange uniquely underwrites the quality risk of the trades and guarantees settlements of the trade through smart contracts. Praman's technology intervention converts farmyards into digital market yards with end-to-end traceability, quality assurance and trade discovery. Within a few months since its launch, Praman has already achieved a monthly gross transaction value of 400 crore. Besides automating workflow, Praman makes data on quality of the agri produce remotely accessible, allowing traders to participate in real time from anywhere without the need to be physically present at auctions or market yards. Saurabh, welcome to Sansad TV and thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure.
Okay, so your company uses computer vision to assess the quality of food products. This is a very unique idea. Tell me, how did you think of this idea? Take me through this journey of Praman.
Right. See, today it's a massive problem, right? I mean, when you look at the way trade happens in agriculture, it's entirely built on quality. Everybody, all buyers of agricultural produce, they want certain quality. And today, the entire process is very, very subjective. People look at the, people look and feel the produce, and then they determine what quality of the produce is. And there is always I said, you said,
Yes.
which kind of creates a dispute in trades, and therefore, affects a lot of price adjustments on the basis of quality and so on and so forth. Now, looking at this massive problem, as engineers, of course, we felt that technology can really help in objectifying the way quality assessment is done. It can be made extremely instantaneous in terms of how, how soon, how fast can you get the quality of the produce. And that could potentially open up the markets unlike anything that the agricultural markets has seen before, because today you have to be present at the location to look at the quality and then buy the produce. Whereas with, potentially with our technology, you can have anybody sitting anywhere in the world looking at a digital quality report, seek an underwriting on the basis of that quality report and purchase the material. It kind of eliminates geographical boundaries. It kind of eliminates the need to be in the business for 20 years, 25 years, gain that experience before you're able to actually profitably run that business. That was the origin, that was the genesis of the idea. I think we were looking at a massive problem, a more than $1.6 trillion problem, out of which, and primarily because this quality assessment does not happen subjectively, the world loses almost 40% of this produce as wastage.
Right.
Massive problem. We're producing enough, food, but we're wasting too much of it. True. So this was the genesis, this was the origin of the idea.
So what about the other friends getting together, launching this company?
Yeah.
Take me through that journey.
So in fact, I was the last to join in. Prior to me coming in, there was Milan Sharma and Nishant and Himani, and these guys, for enough number of years, they were working on this problem. They were kind of looking at how artificial intelligence and computer vision can solve this quality assessment problem. And the technology was really there before we thought of Praman to start the trade part of the business, right? So quality assessment was, as a technology, was what we developed as a company. We developed first. We deployed it with some of the largest retailers in the country. Because in retail, a 2% margin of error is what they're looking at, right? I mean, you can't send bad quality produce to the consumers. And it is such a massive supply chain that our technology was extremely useful for them to deploy at various intervention points within the value chain, at their collection centers, at their warehouses, and at their retail stores. And anything that was going bad, you would either take it off the shelf, ensure that it is not reaching the customer at all, and make sure that only the best quality is reaching the consumer. So this technology was deployed at some of the largest retailers of the country, and then Praman was born to take this to the large number of traders, wholesalers, distributors, processors who can benefit equally from this technology and purchase exactly the produce that they want to produce, that they want to purchase.
But Saurabh, tell me two things. A, agriculture is a very price-sensitive market in our country, and B, it's a game of quantities, massive quantities. So how did you think of this business model?
It is price sensitive, and that is where, in fact, our technology really works because because it is so price sensitive. In this, I said, you said. I said the quality is not so good. You said the quality is great. If there is any price adjustment that happens, you are typically talking about the entire profit getting wiped out from whoever is selling the produce, and therefore having this really objective quality assessment at the time of trade is really, really important, right? If it had massive margins, maybe nobody would have bothered. But because the price sensitivity and the margins are really thin, it makes a world of difference to people in the trade. Our model is very simple. When a produce comes to our partner warehouses, we do the quality assessment at that level and then create a contract which traders can effectively trade in. So what happens really is, now you're not speculating anymore. The produce is there. The produce has been quality assayed. It has been graded, sorted. And now whoever wants it, so people in Calcutta, distributors in Calcutta might want a very different quality as compared to people in Delhi or distributors in Delhi. And because the produce is already existing at our partner warehouses and it's appropriately sorted, graded, these guys can actually trade in exactly the quality that they want. And we charge a small commission on the total overall value of the trade, which is actually much lesser than what is currently being paid to an army of middlemen involved in the business.
But it must have been really difficult convincing the wholesalers, the retailers, first of all, and then selling this idea. How did market validation come for you?
No, absolutely. I mean, I think agriculture is still one sector where technology has really not made a whole lot of inroads at this point of time. It's the oldest industry, like they say, right? And because it's the oldest industry, the change actually comes in a little more slower than some of the newer age industries. It's been a challenge, but the market validation does come from the fact that in the last 10, 12 years, we've seen mobile phones, we've seen 4G, we've seen internet reach to locations which otherwise were not even connected to the world, right? And this technological explosion, thanks to the telecom companies, that they've really made internet cheap. What it has done is it has made technology available in the hands of the people. And because this technology is now available in the hands of the people, getting them to try something new is not that much more difficult. And once they try something new, and there are obviously ways to get people to try. You're not charging for the first transaction, for example. But the moment people find valuable, find this first transaction using our technology valuable, that is when they become members at Praman. And once they become members, then they trade more and more through us, and which is essentially where the validation is coming from. So in fact, as a matter of fact, we are now doing almost 5,000 crores worth of annualized trades through the platform. And I think although it is still a small drop in the ocean of the large ocean of agricultural business, it's still significant.
I'm sure it is. But tell me, what about funding? How did you find the investors? How did you sell your idea to them? Why did they invest in Praman?
I think computer vision and artificial intelligence across industries, across people, there's this belief that that this is the future, right? I mean, the application of artificial intelligence and computer vision will find its way into many industries, will eliminate the need for or eliminate subjectivity because of its applications. And I think we were absolutely we've been venture funded, and we've raised quite a significant amount of money for developing this technology, and for market expansion we will raise further capital as well. And I think pitching was pitching to the market was actually more difficult than pitching to the investors, because like I said, computer vision, artificial intelligence, machine learning, people are aware that going forward, these technologies will really disrupt a lot of industries.
Yeah, absolutely. So why did your investors repose confidence in you? We spoke to them and we found out. Let's listen in.
We at Avana are delighted to partner with the Praman.AI Labs team. Have gotten to know Milan, Nishant, Himani and Saurabh very well over the last couple of years, and their commitment to solving a large problem using technology has been extremely impressive. The product first approach as they take the product to market is something that we are very happy to back. Food wastage, and particularly fresh produce wastage, is a very big and important problem to solve for a developing country like India, and indeed for the world. The Praman approach to using computer vision for quality assaying and creating a consistent standardized platform that allows farmers, traders and eventual buyers to come together to exercise efficiencies, capture those gains and eventually provide the benefit to the consumer as well is particularly exciting and energizing for us. The digitization of the large-scale supply chain for vegetables, fruits and spices that Praman is solving for helps to raise farmer incomes, empower traders and eventually put India also on the export map of the world for fresh produce. Once again, we at Avana are delighted to partner with the Praman.AI team and work with them closely as they create the largest, most innovative technology and product first approach to digitizing the fresh produce food supply chain for India and indeed for the world.
So Saurabh, those were your investors, of course, speaking very highly of you, but tell me, this mustn't have been easy. What were the biggest challenges? What were the biggest roadblocks?
Some of the biggest roadblocks have been, finding the best talent that is available in the country on these technologies and getting them to work on it. See, when you're in a startup, the journey is at times really an unknown.
Yes.
So you kind of face situations and problems that you would have probably never thought of that one would face. Surmounting them is a daily task. I think getting the best talent to work on this, in the agriculture sector, trying to really work on a technology which has the potential to change the way agricultural trades happen, and not just in India. I'm talking about globally, the way these trades happen today, and we can fundamentally change the way it happens tomorrow. Getting people excited about the space in general. I think there is still that whole thing associated with agriculture that there's not much money in it. A business cannot be made out of it. It's very old school kind of a business, and so on and so forth. That would be one of the biggest roadblocks. But I think at the ground level, the situation is changing faster than one can imagine. People are willing to try out newer technologies. There's an entire ecosystem of services, startups, products and services that is developing for agriculture, which is, I think, a beautiful thing. And going forward, this can only make more and more smart people join agriculture as an industry.
So how happy are your team members in this agri-tech startup? We found out. Let's listen.
Praman is built on 3 pillars of trade discovery, quality assurance and trade settlement. For trade discovery and trade settlement, we have the unique platform called trade.praman.ai, where buyers and sellers come and sell their produce on auctions and spot. For quality assurance, we have built the world's best sorting, packaging and grading machinery for commodities like cardamom, onion, garlic, Apple, etc., with unique deep learning based models which are built on AI proprietary technology. All these models were also built with help of government, with likes of Atal Innovation Fund, etc., to give us the best data possible for creating this sorting machinery and packaging machinery, which works on the basis of unique size, color, defects, and other properties.
Our business is such that it creates a lot of impact on-ground people, right, farmers, consumers, etc., through the supply chain optimization that we are doing and wastage that it eventually reduces. I think that has attracted a lot of interest from various funds, including impact funds like Avana and Omnivore as well, who have invested in us. We see a lot of incoming interest as well from many investors and strong belief in our story. I think that gives us good validation and push to continue what we believe in doing. I think in terms of financing from markets, there is a bit of a challenge. The agri sector is very fragmented. Not enough data for banking industry to kind of finance this segment in a structured manner. So those are the kind of solutions which we are developing with new age fintech and NBFCs that are in the market.
So Saurabh, right now the valuation of your company is close to 300 CR. You're targeting the sales of perhaps 1500 CR or maybe more than that, 15,000 CR you told me. What are the growth projections? What is the strategy to achieve this?
Right. So we've been extremely focused on a category of agriculture which is known as horticulture. So we're dealing with fruits and vegetables and spices and nuts in that sense, where we're developing our quality assessment technology to be able to very objectively ascertain the quality for these particular items or these particular commodities that we're dealing in. It's a massive, it's close to an $80 billion domestic market for just these commodities, perhaps even more since it's growing year on year. And most of the trade happens in a bilateral fashion. It's essentially a contract between two people. And I think there is a huge need for this bilateral trade relation to kind of convert into a more contractual, faceless relationship. And I think, I believe that our technology has the capability to do that. And once we do that, I think, since the target opportunity is so large, we should be able to grow really, really fast in these commodities and reach a target of close to 15,000 crores in terms of trade through the platform, through Praman as a platform in the next couple of years, in fact.
All right, I do hope that that happens very soon. But before we sign off, Saurabh, what is your message to the other budding entrepreneurs, particularly in the field of agriculture and otherwise being a startup?
I don't have a message per se, but what I really want to talk to in terms of being an entrepreneur and the experience and the journey that it takes you on. I think it's one of the most fulfilling journeys that one can embark upon. If you find a problem to solve that really resonates with you, that you find, or you find yourself passionate enough with, I think giving it a shot and giving it your best shot is really what everyone should attempt. Whether you succeed, don't succeed, it's dependent on a lot of factors, but giving it a shot really is is absolutely a must, I think, for every budding entrepreneur. Give it your best shot and make sure that you find enough passion to solve the problem that you're solving, and things will work out.
So don't hold back and give it your best shot, and of course, God willing, things would work out.
Absolutely.
On that note, Saurabh, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your journey with us.
Thank you. It has been a pleasure. Thank you.
Well, viewers, that's all I have for you in this edition of the Journey of Startups in India. Thanks for watching and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Goodbye for now.